People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People of 7 on Twitter and YouTube, People of elsewhere on the internet. My soaps are located at Purple Butterfly soaps.myshopify.com, my blog, PurpleButterfly-people.blogspot.com. And it's been a rather eventful day. I overslept, woke up, took my medicine, went back to sleep because I could. Actually, I woke up at 4 in the morning, so when I went back to sleep, I kind of slept past the time I normally wake up. And then there was a Thanksgiving party out and about, so I went to that. And when it was time to leave, I was getting in my car. I was putting my rollator into the car when someone had an emergency. So we heard sirens and stuff, and I, looked over to see where the sirens were, and they were coming directly into the parking lot that I was fin to exit. And people are just literally standing around the parking lot like, I don't see a car about to hit me. It's like, get out the way, they're coming in here. So they moved, and I'm going, yeah, if you see a moving vehicle with flashing red lights coming at you at a quick rate of speed, move. So, yeah. Then they stopped, and that's when I realized they blocked me in. I said, are y'all going to be long? Is it just a, routine alarm or whatever? And he said, ma'am, I don't know. So I basically hung out with my friends until they moved their vehicle. Then I came home, prepped some soap. I'd already pre-mixed some oils, but, had to measure the lye water and all of that. Then I washed Biggin. Then I made the Loofah soaps. They came out well, I think. Turns out the issue was not the water soaking from last time. I soaked it dry, so that way that wasn't going to be an issue. But there was a slight separation, so that had to be the fragrance oil. I even used a different recipe. This one is lard and canola oil. The last one was coconut oil and canola oil. So it's the fragrance oil. I put that in my fragrance notes so that way the next time I use that particular scent, I know to expect that and know to give it an extra blend so that way it integrates. You know what I mean. But anyway, here's all of that. Have a blessed and wonderful day and a happy Thanksgiving. Bye now. This has been Peepla. I'm stuck. The Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People of 7 on Twitter and YouTube, People of elsewhere on the internet. My soaps located at PurpleButterfly-soaps.myshopify.com, my blog, PurpleButterfly-people.blogspot.com. And today I am going to remake the Loofah soap, and the base is slightly different. This one is lard and canola. The last one was coconut because I already had a batch of pre-made oils, so I figured just go ahead and use them. The loofahs have been rescued and they are dry. I am not going to try to use them wet or damp, even though everybody said I should. I do have a plan for if they float though. I figure if they float to the top, I could put a blocker over it, like a piece of paper, and then put something on top to hold them down. But I figure if I use a thick trace, maybe that'll hold them down. If not, if they float, then they'll just have a loofah sticking out the top. I've seen that style. It's kind of attractive. It looks real neat because you can see the loofah. So that's how we're going to do it today. Yeah. And I'm going to have to find an apron that actually fits me because this is slightly too little. And see, that's why they should never say one size fits all. They should say one size fits most because some of us are fluffy. That's the only way to say it. Okay. I've already put my fragrance oil in. It's the same scent. Basil, sage, mint. I figure use the same scent because all the loofahs smell like the basil, sage, mint because that's what it was scented with before. I'm even going to use the same color. Seafoam green. Now, let me move this out. The lard has previously been heated up and blended and cooled. So it's a little thick because it's now room temperature. However, when the lye hits it, it'll heat it up so that way I don't have to worry about it, separating or anything like that. So let's get this started. Actually, there's some lye laying here, which means we'll definitely need this. Since there's no swirls, we don't have to worry about putting it in several different containers. It's just literally going to be mix, pour, and go. Trace. And the lard has already started to emulsify. Which is good because it'll get rid of all those bubbles I got going on in here. think I want it darker than that. So let me go over here and get the other jar of seafoam green, if I can find it. Where did I go? Just decided to jump ship, but anyway. I don't see it. So we'll go with the level of green that we already got. No big whoop. Because that was the last of this. Yeah, nothing coming out of there. Well, the bubbles have settled down. Let's see if it's thickened up a little. Oh, it's separated. It must have been the fragrance oil last time. So I feel better. It wasn't my recipe. It's the fragrance oil. It's separated. And me adding all that water to the loofahs didn't help it any. So. Okay, we worked through the separation issue. Now let's go to a tray. That's a light trace. Let's go for medium. And work out some of these bubbles. Think that's thick enough? We'll start over here. Well, that one's trying to float, but we won't let it. I'm just going to pour it to the top of the mold, or the cavity rather. And if it floats, it floats. I'm not going to worry about it. Smells amazing. I am going to have to add may separate to my notations though. So that way I have that in the fragrance notes, so that way I know for future use. There we go. Whew, so far so good. See, I ran out of that just in time. Okay. No overflow this time. That kind of splashed out a little. So we'll smooth it on over to another one. Push it down, make sure it's not floating. And it helps get rid of the bubbles. And they tried to separate a little, so I'm thinking it's the fragrance oil. But I know it's not the water because there is no water in these. These loofahs are dry as a bone. And I have 2 left over, so that means I have a total of 16. So, yeah. These larger size modes took up the difference. Otherwise, I would have 18 and 1 left over. But that's okay. Because theoretically, for the recipe, I was only going for 12. So anything extra is basically an overflow. And I'm good with that. Okay, now this one's floating on top, so I'll scoot it over to one that I seen had less. So that way we get at least an equal amount going on. Or try to. There we go. And that's my loofah soaps. Get the last little bit of this batter out of here. There we go. Oh, almost forgot. There, now it's completely filled up. This has been People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My soaps located at PurpleButterfly-soaps.myshopify.com, my blog, PurpleButterfly-people.blogspot.com. Loofah soaps look successful. There's no, well, there was a slight separation with the fragrance oil, but they're still in one piece. There's no separation going on now. And I think it's a success. I'll find out tomorrow when I unload it. Yep. But in the meantime, I'll give you a flyby so you can see what's going on. There are the loofah soaps. And the two that did not get the opportunity to get used. But hey, no separation issues this time. No waterlogged. It seems to be going okay. It's a couple of little oil drops, but that's okay. It will reabsorb. But that's what I got for now. This has been Peepla.